welcome back to my channel. My name is Nakomle and thank you so much for coming back once again. So today I'm just going to be talking about agency nursing. Okay, so without wasting much time, let's just get right into it. So you've just qualified and you are wanting to join an agency to earn some extra cash. Okay, you're wondering, when can I start, or when can I actually join an agency? So I'm going to be talking about what an agency nurse is, how you qualify to become an agency nurse, and at the same time some of the advantages and disadvantages of becoming an agency nurse. So what's an agency nurse, or who is an agency nurse? Is quite simply put a temporary nurse or a locum nurse. So it's quite similar to bank shifts, where you do extra hours on top of your regular shifts to earn some more money. And you usually do bank shifts within the trust that you usually work your regular shifts. However, with agency nursing, you can work in different environments, a wide variety of environments. You can be still in the NHS, you can be in a private hospital, you can be in a clinic, you can be in a care home. The list is just endless. How can you qualify to become an agency nurse, or what are the requirements for you to become an agency nurse? First and foremost, like the fundamental thing, is you need to have your NMC PIN. The NMC PIN is the Nursing and Midwifery Council registration PIN that identifies you as a nurse or as a midwife or as a health care associate to practice as a nurse in the UK. So you need to have that and make sure that it's up to date and that you are always renewing your PIN, because once the time is up for you to renew and you don't, that's it, you cannot practice until you renew it again. So just bear that in mind. Also, you must have completed a minimum of 6 months regular nursing work inside of the UK before any agency would even look at you or even listen to you. Most agencies will require at least 6 months. Some would say 1 year, and even others in more specialized areas will require you to have anything between 1 to 3 years experience before they will take you on as an agency nurse. So these are some of the things that you have to keep in mind. Not only that, but also you have to meet the agency's compliance standards. So things such as and mind you, this is so lengthy and so rigorous, because they need to make sure that whoever they are producing to these hospitals or these clinics or these care homes are people who have the relevant skills and are well equipped to take on the role of being an agency nurse. Okay, so just so you know, that's one of the reasons that they are so rigorous with their recruitment process. All right, not only that, they also see to things such as your DBS checks. So any criminal records that you hold in the past, they want to see all of those things. If you don't have a SWOT, they just want to do all of those checks to make sure that everything is okay before they let you out into any hospital to work. They also have a look at things such as your right to work in the UK, and any reference checks as well that they need to do. They do all of that during this time, and trust me, it is such a lengthy process. I can attest to that. So what I usually say is, if you really want to join an agency and you're newly qualified, just when it's getting close to the 6 months mark, make sure that you start now, gradually registering, going through the registration process. Some people would even start with you when it's like 5 months to the time. They would just go through the whole process, but you would not start any shifts until you have actually got the required number of months that they need. Okay, so just bear that in mind as well. Another tip that I will give to you is, just because you are at the end of your 6 months and you feel that yes, I can start getting shifts, you just go out and get shifts. No, you need to make sure that you are confident within yourself as an individual, as a professional. Be competent with your skills, at least your basic nursing skills. Make sure that you are grounded, make sure that you have that solid foundation, because when you go into these hospitals, they can be so ruthless sometimes, because they know you're coming in and you're being paid like 2, 3 times, 4 times what they are paying. All right, what they are getting paid. So they will give you the hardest of patients. They will give you the toughest of patients most of the time. Some of the hospitals or some of the staff can be really lovely as well, but majority of the time agency nurses don't have it easy. So just bear that in mind. And if you have that at the back of your mind, it will push you to make sure that you are really competent, you are really confident in yourself as an individual before you even think about going and joining an agency. I say this for myself because I knew I always wanted to join an agency as a top up of what I do as a regular NHS nurse, because hey, we all know the pay in the NHS is like, I don't even want to go there. So you always want to get something on top of that as well, okay? So yeah, that's one thing that I can say to you. From when I was 6 months registered, I just started gradually filling my forms and getting my registration sorted and everything, and I wanted to feel competent. I wanted to feel confident. I wanted to know my stuff before I set out and go out there into that jungle. Okay, so that's something that you need to keep in mind. All right, now moving on to some of the advantages of being an agency nurse. Number one advantage I'll say is skill set development, because you improve your overall practice and your overall experience, really, because you're working in a wide range of clinical environments. So you're picking from here and you're picking from there, and then you bring all of them together, and you become really good at what you do. You have a fantastic skill set, and it makes you even more competent as a professional. Okay, the next thing as well, the most obvious one, is the income aspect, because as an agency nurse you get paid way more than what you would be paid in your normal or your regular your permanent role in the NHS or wherever it is that you work. Okay, so hypothetically, let's say at the end of the month you get paid £100. This is hypothetical, okay? Let's say you get paid £100 a month. Working as an agency nurse, you could get that £100 in a week, all right, or even more, especially if you're willing to also work far away from your local area. These agencies are ready to pay more. Okay, so that's another great advantage about working with the agencies. Another thing would be obviously broadening your horizon, because you're not just restricted to just one place. You go to different areas and gives you nice experiences. At the same time, working as an agency nurse, you get to pick and choose when you work. If you're working full-time as an agency nurse, you get to pick and choose when you work. You get to pick and choose when you go on vacation. You get to choose when you stay at home and do nothing, and no one is going to ask you any questions. Whereas if you're in a permanent role, you can't pick and choose. Even when you're on annual leave, sometimes when you need to be on annual leave at a certain time, you may not get it because you'll be short-staffed. So then you would have to wait until a later date to take your annual leave, or you have to take it earlier, and all of that. All right, but obviously regular or permanent work as well has its advantages, okay, and has its disadvantages as well. So just bear some of these things in mind. Some of the disadvantages of being an agency nurse is, being in a different environment or unfamiliar environments all of the time. So you would have this feeling of or the sense of not belonging to the place, if you get what I mean. Yeah, that's one of the things. Another thing is also not having, like, I would say, a guaranteed income. So maybe, if you're not working, you're not getting paid. Whereas if you're in a permanent role, even if you're not working and you're on annual leave or whatever, you're still getting paid. If you're off sick, you're getting paid, and other stuff like that. Another disadvantage is that shifts can be cancelled at any time without prior notice. And so you might have planned your week according to your shifts and any income that you're expecting from that, and then last minute your shift is cancelled. So that is another thing that you have to also keep in mind. But to be able to salvage that, you can join many agencies. So you're not just restricted to just one agency. You can be registered with as many as possible, so that even if one is cancelled on one side, you can still get another shift from another place. So that's one way that you can rectify that problem. Finally, another disadvantage will be probably not getting certain benefits, like maybe pensions or sick pay, maternity leave pays, all of those things. But as of now, with pensions, majority, or if not all, agencies are required to enroll their workers onto a pension scheme anyway. And aside that as well, you can also enroll into your own private pension as well. So there are ways around these, as well as the sick pay or maternity leave pays as well. There are certain qualifying criteria that you can get to that would allow you to qualify for such payments as well. So it's not too bad. All in all, it's really up to you and what works for you, really, if you want to join an agency or not. So for now, that's all. If this was helpful to you at all, please let me know. Just like, comment, share, subscribe to my channel if this was helpful. If there are any other things similar to this, or any other different things that you would want me to talk about, just leave them in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to address those. But for now, it's bye. You take care of yourself and be safe.